Good morning, Queen Bees and King Bees. Hope y'all are having a good start to your Friday. I am going to be harshly blunt. And yes, there's going to be some cussing. I'm going to put that out there before I go any further. This is going to be harshly blunt, and there's going to be some cussing. So if you don't like cussing, don't listen to this audio. I'm going to be speaking on a topic that I don't really speak on quite often. And that's the coronavirus. I am disgusted at the attitudes of some people, young and older. I am really disgusted, really disappointed. More disgusted than disappointed, because it's really not a surprise to me, especially with millennials and some older people. But when you make the choice, okay, you don't care about the virus. You think the virus is a joke. You don't think you're going to get sick. You could care less if you get sick, which I've heard some people say. I've heard people say, oh, well, it's not going to affect me. I've heard people say, I don't care if I get sick, as long as I can go out and party and hang with my friends. No, I don't want to wear a mask. No, I'm not going to social distance. And the most recent events that boggle my mind and really infuriate me. The groups of people that are literally going out and getting the virus on purpose and getting paid for it. If you are the first person in these groups, if you are the first person to catch the virus, you get the pot. Let that sit with you for a minute. So, the virus is a joke to you. The virus isn't going to affect you. You could care less about getting sick. So you don't give a fuck about your families. You don't give a fuck about your grandma, your grandpa, your elderly mother. Some of y'all may possibly have family members, friends who have pre-existing conditions. And you don't give a fuck. Pull your head out your ass. Unwrap that tinfoil hat, because it's obviously too fucking tight. Stop drinking the Trump Kool-Aid. Because listening to Trump right now, considering Trump has jumped ship on protecting Americans against this virus. I live in South Carolina, people. We have over 1,000 cases a day. Over 1,000 cases a day. The highest numbers of deaths so far is 24 in one day. Let that sink in. So what you idiots are telling me, and yes, you're true fucking idiots. So what you're telling me and other people who have pre-existing conditions and worry about catching the virus is you could really care less about anyone. That you're selfish. You don't care about yourself, let alone caring about anybody else. You don't give a fuck about your family. The elderly people in your family who are very vulnerable to this virus and it would have worse effects on them than anyone else. And people with pre-existing conditions, it has worse effects on them than anybody else. Yes, I'm pissed off. When you take it upon yourself to create groups in different states to purposely harm other people, I have a problem with that. I have a serious problem with that. How about y'all take your candy asses to these children's hospitals and visit with some of these patients instead of out here in the streets doing dumb shit? Yeah, I'm very pissed off. Literally creating groups to go out here and see who could be the first one to purposely contract COVID-19. And they have a pot waiting on the first person to purposely, let me say that again louder for the people in the back, to purposely contract the virus. Wake the fuck up, people. We are in war with an invisible enemy. Trump said one thing right. He's a wartime president. That's the only thing that he said right since his whole pandemic started. He's right. He is a wartime president because we are in a war with an invisible enemy. Now, let's step back from the coronavirus and let's talk about a new strain to the swine flu in China. So people are taking this pandemic going on right now in the United States as a joke. Refusing to wear masks, refusing to social distance, creating groups to see who the first person is that can contract the virus and get paid for it. Governors, mayors, opening up beaches, opening up pools, opening up clubs during a pandemic. A pandemic that here in South Carolina has over 1,000 cases every single day. Do we want to be like New York and have ice trucks sitting outside our hospitals with bodies piled up in them? Do we want to be like New York and damn near run out of hospital space. Well, excuse me, they didn't damn near run out. They did. They had to have a ship sent to them for more beds for COVID-19 patients. And they had a tent three or four tents set up outside the hospital because they ran out of room in the actual hospitals. Plural, hospitals. Because of so many cases. I'm not one to talk about politics, but today I am. Governor Cuomo is an amazing governor. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Everybody's got their own opinion. Some don't like him. Some hate him. Me, myself, I think the man is amazing. That man went from having ice trucks sitting outside his hospital with bodies piled up in it to the cases declining on a daily basis. That man set a plan in motion and is continuing with that plan, and it's working brilliantly for him. But you take South Carolina Governor McMaster, and he don't want to do a fucking thing. He don't care about South Carolinians. All he cares about is cha-ching, 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 money. I sat and listened to his latest press conference, and I laughed. Yeah, sure. He's shutting down, continuing the pause on college sports and concerts and big events and stuff like that. Okay. I'm with you on that. But what about the beaches? What about the nightclubs? What about the pools that are packed every fucking weekend? What about that? What about the groups that form on a daily basis with no concern whatsoever? What about the people that refuse to wear a mask? And you want to say that it's their civil rights to refuse to wear a mask? You want to say that putting blocks or bans on stuff is impeding on their civil rights? What about the civil rights of the people who are dying? What about the civil rights of the people who are deathly ill? And the numbers are continuing to climb. What about their rights to be healthy? To be in a safe space and not have to barricade themselves in their home because people are selfish and heartless and don't give a fuck about other people's well-being. Don't want to wear a mask. It's all about control. No, dumbasses. This is about keeping people from dying, keeping people from getting sick. Now we have a second problem brewing in China on top of this pandemic that's going on right now. So we have a new strand of the swine flu. Pigs are infected. They don't know how the transmission is going to be from pigs to humans. They don't know how bad it's going to be. So they don't know if it's going to be as severe as COVID-19. If people want to stand up against big government, and people want to talk about control and this and that, put that aside. Put that aside. Because what y'all don't realize is this is population control. This is population control. Stop being dumbasses. Put on the fucking mask. Social distance to save your fucking life. Because they're trying to take us out. And you people who think that you're fighting a good fight by not wearing a mask and not social distancing, you are working against what you think you're working for. You not wearing a mask, you not social distancing, is giving the government exactly what the fuck they want. They want less people. And with your dumb ass not wearing a mask and not social distancing, you're going to be taken out. Or your family's going to be taken out by the virus. So instead of fighting against yourself on what you think you're fighting for, open your eyes. Put on a fucking mask. Social distance. And fight against the government the right way. Well, it's all well and good that you want to butt up against the government. By all means, butt up against the government. But do it the right way. Because the way people are doing it with this, the mask infringes on my rights. No, dumbass. You're giving the government what they want. It's population control. And as long as your dumbass is out there not wearing a mask, you're giving the government what they want. To take your dumbass out and take others out with you.